The FOMO factory bubble building builders are in hot water. Hey everybody, Scott Walters, buckle up, strap in. We got a hard hitting pull, no punches, no sugarcoating it, no rainbows or sunshine. I'm just going to give it to you and give it to you straight. We got a good one to unpackage today. Welcome to the show. I hope everybody's doing great. Buckle up, strap in, roll up your windows, and lock your doors as we examine the good, the bad, and maybe a little bit of the ugly.
No, Scott, talk about rainbows and sunshine and lollipops.
No, somebody's got to read between the lines and look between the economic cracks, and we've got some cracks to look through today. Welcome to the show. Today, we're taking a field trip. We're taking a field trip to one of my favorite places on earth outside of Disneyland. I don't even know if that's really true, but anyway, it sounded good as it came out. But the reality is this. FOMO factories, bubble builders. These are the things I really want you guys to understand. Because anytime there's a real estate boom, what happens? The investors pile in, and a lot of the builders, the developers, they pile in. They buy cheap land wherever they can grab it, and they start just building them as fast as they can because it's a race against the clock. It's a game of musical chairs, really, and the music has stopped playing right now, and now they're stuck with a lot of unfinished lots, phases of construction, and that have been funded, and they have to get them built. Unfortunately, their projected earnings, because during the height of the euphoria, when these guys are all building like crazy, they have projected earnings. But now they're doing price cuts, anything they can. We've seen, I've shown you. If you're new, get subscribed, jump on board, and participate in the comments. I've showed you videos of the emails that are going out and the sales tactics. They're getting really, it looks like a used car lot, a lot of these marketing pieces that they're producing for these things. 4th of July sale, Independence sale, sales slash and car, blah, blah, blah. It's like a used car lot. It's insane. And then their sales team. I mean, and God bless them. They're all great. I love real estate agents. Most of them. I love everybody. But a lot of these people, they employ these agents to just work on site. And these agents, I mean, they're just sitting in these FOMO factory sales offices with scripts. Most of them are script trained. Okay, as they are script trained. So if you're a salesperson in one of these developments, hired by the builder to be, and you're not working like, well, the way I work as an independent salesperson on commissions, they're probably commissions, some incentives, maybe hourly. I don't know the exact structure. I don't really care to know, but I know one thing. They train you because what they're doing is they basically have these model homes that we're going to look at that are basically staged and furnished to perfection under a think tank. So you fall in love with the model unit, then you go over to the sales office and you go ahead and put down a deposit to get one of these FOMO factory bubble buyer homes, but you got to wait 6 months for it to be built. Now, what's going to happen in 6 months from now? Are prices going to go up? Probably not. Are they going to go down? Probably so. So this is a really sketchy situation because you're basically walking in and even if you buy something that's, I'm already seeing, and we're going to see here in a sec, there's already this development we're going to go to. I had a client, I was showing him an existing construction because I like to buy in. I like newer homes, but things that were pre-crisis, built before the crisis, that weren't built during the bubble. Because your neighbors have bought and throughout, pre-bubble. I don't like all my neighbors to be bubble buyers because if and when this thing reverses course, they're going to start dropping like flies. And we're seeing that. So a lot of these people, like the construction, the development, they're about halfway built out on a massive development. And they're doing everything they can right now to get people over there to these model homes, come to the sales office where some script-trained agent has been told this is how you handle these walk-ins and you get them to buy it. And they're offering like $7,000 in closing costs, or if you're all cash, we'll give you $7,000 towards the solar system. They're already incentivizing. And for me as an agent, when I went and talked to these, I was just being nice to the agent because I don't need to be a jerk. But I already knew my client they don't want, these were 2-story homes. They want single level. So I already knew it was, but it was fun to go look at they wanted to see one. I said, yeah, let's go look. I'm all game, it was an opportunity for me, to make this video for you at minimum. So, the reality is I went in there and I'm like, don't be surprised if you see an offer. So for me, if my client was like, I love it, I'm going to buy it. Okay, let's, just understand the waters we're swimming in. There's a good chance these houses could go down in value, but you're all cash. So, let's work them for not only the $7,000 incentive and apply it towards solar, but let's also go over to the design center because they have design centers in there with, whatever the finished packages that are available. We're going to work them for some finishes, and they're going to do everything they can to not give them. And it's almost like a car lot. Like if you've ever bought a car and you go in and you try to make an offer, they always try to come back and counter and go back. And it's just back and forth, back and forth. And you basically have to get up and leave. Once you leave the office, that's when they're like, well, come back. Okay, we'll do it. You have to do that. Sometimes they'll even let you get in the car. Sometimes they'll even let you get home and they'll call you the next day. And I talked to my boss and it's all these, it's just, that's the part of me that makes me turn on this camera and expose and borderline whistleblow this stuff because somebody just has to, a lot of you guys know this, but some of you don't. And a lot of times you just need to hear it again and understand this because I think in the polarizing climate of the real estate bubble that we just went through, a lot of people, even smart people, just really became infected with herd mentality and they just followed the herd. So it was really interesting. But like I said, I'm seeing now the like if we were to give them a deposit and negotiate or get the deal or buy one of these homes, we had to wait for months for it to be built. And there's people already in the homes that are completed with for sale signs in their yard. Let me repeat. There's already people that bought homes a year ago that have for sale signs already up in their yards selling their homes. So they're competing now with the builder who's offering incentives or closing costs or finished packages or whatever the case may be. So your home's used. So I always say find out who your competition is and beat them. If you got to compete with the builder, you're up against the wall. So let's go ahead and tour a little bit of this FOMO factory. Then we'll meet back here and wrap it up. Let's get started. All right, friends, buckle up, strap in, roll up your windows, lock your doors. We're at a FOMO factory bubble buyer development. And here you go. Let's go ahead and step on in to the design center. And this is where they can sell you anything and everything that you want to add on that you're about to see inside of the actual model home. And here we go. Our agents sitting around waiting for anybody to walk in and try to corner them. Insanity. And here you go. All the model units are always done first. And here you go. It's all fenced off with each model unit number in front. And you can take your choice and tour through all of them. But these places are pretty, of course, but it does not look like this when you get back into the back 40. These are all the ones that are staged to perfection. You'll get yours and it will not have nice manicured little bushes. You might get some bark chips and some shrubs. That's about it. And the other thing that's funny with these things is they have fake grass. And even the houses that I saw that were completed, none of them had that. That's an add-on. If you want fake grass, you're going to pay for that. If you want a little tree in front, they are selling pretty much every single thing you see here is something that you would have to buy. You will just get a cookie cutter sardine canned house. But I will say this, I love the design of these homes. They're smart homes. They've got the ring style doorbells out front, nice arched doorways and high entry doors with these little frosted glass inlays, super cute. And of course, they're just staged under a think tank. Look at this. Everything just looks beautiful. But unfortunately, these things are slammed in like sardine cans. But again, this is just an example of what I always tell people. A staged home will sell a lot quicker than an empty home. So obviously, that's the name of the game here. Now, this was a 2-story home. In fact, they're all pretty much 2-story homes. The client that I was touring with, they want a single level home. But these are really small, even though they feel big. The kitchen's well appointed, but it is very small. I want to say these were coming in maybe 1,100 to 1,200 square feet. The backyards are just extremely teeny. And like I said, you have virtually no privacy. If your neighbor's got a dog, you are not happy. You are going to have a dog barking at you while you're trying to go enjoy your little teeny backyard, which I've seen a lot of that going on. There's nothing worse than going into your backyard and immediately having dog or multiple dogs. In some cases, I've toured homes that have been deal breakers. In fact, that was one of the reasons we ended up at this place, is the home that we saw online. It looked great. We got there, and the neighbors had 5 little dogs that were barking their faces off the second you stepped foot outside, making it virtually impossible to enjoy your backyard. So for us, that was a deal breaker. That's why you never want to buy homes virtually. You always want to put boots on the ground and go visit these homes. And unfortunately, a lot of people during the crisis were buying homes virtually without actually putting boots on the ground and going to see these homes. And now you're actually seeing them try to sell out of these homes. But these homes, one thing I will say is, what I do like, and that's why I always say I like newer homes. I don't want to really necessarily to buy old dated homes with old styling and floor plans. Rather, these new floor plans are really, really attractive. They did a lot with a small amount of space here, for sure. I liked also like this tongue and groove paneling they put on there, not just drywall, which is nice, especially if you're carrying stuff upstairs. You'd never want to ding your drywall and have drywall patching. This is, if you scrape, you can just sand and paint, which is kind of nice. Again, here's one of the early buyers. Down there, I saw that guy, and he was down there working on cars and making noise. And again, this whole development, and I've seen a lot of developments. This was probably one of the nicer ones that I've seen, but it was way out in the middle of nowhere. And that's the thing. You might be able to buy one of these newer homes, but a lot of times you're going to live out in the middle of nowhere when you do it. So you got to be really, really careful, and just understand, that's pretty much the case when you're shopping these FOMO factories. And again, like I always say, you also have to understand these places are, everybody in all your neighbors bought at the height of not just a garden variety real estate bubble. They bought at the top of a super bubble, the biggest bubble ever witnessed in human history. So that is something you have to, and here you go. This is somebody, and I saw these all over the places. People already trying to sell out of these brand new homes, and they haven't even finished. They're only about 50% built out. And I can only imagine what it's going to look like when they finish this development. My guess is that it's going to be littered with people that bought at the height trying to sell, and they're competing with the builder, and they're going to be stuck and up against it. And I have to protect my clients. So for that reason, we walked away from this development. Let's jump back to the studio and wrap this one up. All right, friends, welcome back. And there you go. So these homes, I will say this, they're really pretty. And I love the styles, and they've done it under a think tank. It's a full-on think tank, how to get people to fall in love with the model units. And there's several models to choose from, and the furnishings and everything. They're smart homes, which are really cool. Tankless water heaters, hot water on demand, solar, just modern finishes. But really what it was is color schemes and furnishings that make these homes really pop, because if they're just empty and white with just no furniture, it doesn't even have nearly the impact. That's why staged homes always sell much quicker than unstaged homes. Now, I would say there's one thing that'll always help you. Well, actually, there's two now that'll always help you sell a home if it's not staged or it doesn't show well. And that's going to be price. You just have to find, like you said, price right. And most people, if they understand a deal when they see it, if it's not furnished and staged to perfection. Unfortunately, a lot of husbands have to walk through their wives. Wives fall in love with furnishings and finishes. The husbands are more sensible, but yeah, this one's way cheaper. But yeah, this one's prettier. Yeah, honey, but we can furnish it. I've watched these almost fights break out between couples. It gets uncomfortable. I always say I'm half salesman, half therapist as I'm out there doing my thing. The other thing that'll help these homes sell is a pandemic. A pandemic with artificial growth, with just complete market manipulation. That'll help homes sell too. Clearly, we just saw that overnight appreciation, never seen before highs. That is not good. And now we are teetering on the razor's edge. In final thoughts, I come to you as a friend, as a content creator, as a real estate guy that wants to see you not only win in real estate, win in life. Understand the waters you're swimming in now. They're shark-infested. Builders, welcome to the swimming pool. Listen, man, you got some nice homes out there. Unfortunately, it was a game of musical chairs. The music stopped playing. You're going to need, and I know you're banking on that, and you understand that there are a lot of first-time home buyers that are going to walk in and fall in love with those model homes. You might occasionally get someone like me coming in there and representing clients and negotiate for them. Most of the times these people walk in with no agent representation, so that's what they really are looking for. They also train these salespeople, go after the people that don't have an agent, because they don't want to have to pay me commissions. If they don't have to, they want to double end the deal. But that's why I'll be here to blow the lid off at every step of the way, because it's not only what we need, it's in fact what we deserve. If you appreciate the content, I want to humbly ask you to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Social media links in the description of this video if you'd like to contact me there, along with links to channels I've appeared on I think you might enjoy. If you enjoyed this video, gonna love the next video. And there's an easy subscribe icon for your convenience. As always, thank you for your time. Please go make it count today. God bless. I'll see you on the next video. If you need an agent, reach out to scottwaltersrealestate@gmail.com.